Division Secretary in Division B last year. He is currently working as a Senior Staff Design Engineer in Cypress Semiconductors. Let's welcome Mr. Arun George Patel.
A man walked into Barbara's department, the physiotherapy department at Hosmac Hospital a few days ago. And he said to her, "Doctor, it pains when I press here. It hurts when I press here. Very often, it hurts when I press here." Barbara had a good, long, exhaustive examination of him and finally came to the conclusion that this man had a broken right index finger. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, this is just a sample of the kind of incidents that are shared at our dinner table over the past few years. Before my sister's marriage, there was some kind of a balance. I was an engineer, my sister was a doctor. The balance tilted in the doctor's favor in 2005 when my sister Rohini married her senior, Chaitanya. And any hopes that I had of getting this balance back evaporated when Barbara entered my life. And since then, there has been a dramatic change in the pattern of communication and conversation at our dinner table. Now, it's all about the physiotherapy, the dermatology, and the general medicine. When I was 10 years old, I once had a terrible tooth pain. And I was duly taken to the dentist, who, after examining me, found out that I had a cavity. So he came up to me and said, "Young man, how would you like your filling?" Without hesitating, I said, "Chocolate, please." The thought of gold filling never entered my mind. In the 8th standard, during our civics class, our teacher was telling us about the role of the president, the Indian president, your president. He told us that the first criteria to become president of India was that you should have been a natural born citizen. Immediately, one guy stood up from the back and said, "So, does that mean that if you are born by cesarean section, you cannot become president?" This incident happened in the neurology lecture that my sister was attending. The professor was one who had a strong sense of value, and he believed that in every single lecture he had to impart some of those values. And on one particular occasion, he was telling his students about the adverse effects of alcohol on the nervous system. To drive home the point, he brought a live worm and dropped it into a glass containing gin and soda. He held the glass up to his students. The worm was wriggling helplessly for a few minutes, and then with a few convulsive gestures, he died. Triumphantly, he asked his class, "So what does this experiment show you?" Without any hesitation, one guy stood up and said, "If you have worms, you must drink alcohol." If only it was such a simple remedy, I wouldn't have been so thin so much of my life. There was this old-fashioned doctor who once visited a house where the wife was in deep pain. And as soon as he entered the house, he went into the bedroom. He came out of the bedroom and asked the husband, "Give me a hammer." The husband was surprised. But nevertheless, he went to the garage, brought a hammer. The doctor said, "Thank you," and went back into the bedroom. He was out within a minute. This time, he was asking for a chisel. The husband gave him a chisel. The doctor went into the bedroom, and within the next 10 minutes, was in and out, this time requesting for a pair of pliers, then a screwdriver, and finally a hacksaw. The husband could not take it any longer. What are you doing to my wife? The doctor said, relax. I haven't touched your wife yet. I'm trying to get my instrument bag open. Chaitanya, my brother-in-law, was once in the outpatient department when a patient walked in and immediately started pouring out his worries. Doctor, you have not cured me of my illness since the last 1 month. The pain remains the same. So Chaitanya calmed him down and said, did you follow the instructions that were on the bottle of medicine that I gave you? Yes, doctor, I did. It said, keep tightly closed, and I did. If some of you have gone by Hotmat Hospital on Madras Road and have been in Bangalore of late for some time now, you would have noticed the changes in the ambience of Hotmat. From what it was a few years ago, just a small 2-3 story building specializing in orthopedic and trauma treatment, now Hotmat has become a super specialty hospital. They even taken over, they are joining ITI building. Now, there was this proposal that was circulated to the doctors when the plan to acquire and bring up the ITI building came up. So what did the doctors do about this plan? The plan was that the doctors had to contribute some money to cover the cost of the project. The ophthalmologist thought that it was a very short-sighted idea. The psychiatrist thought it was madness. The surgeons washed their hands off the whole affair. The cardiologists didn't have the heart to say no. It was only because of the physiotherapist who said, let's rebuild it. That Hotmat is what it is today. My dear patients, ladies and gentlemen, if you thought that the life of a doctor is all about broken bones, severed limbs, and ruptured arteries, relax. A doctor's life can be fun too. Ask me. I've got a stomach pain every time I laugh listening to the jokes that the doctors in my family tell me. It's a joke.